Hey guys, it's Greg. In this video I would like to show you Malediction. So this is a skirmish game for at least 2 players, and the game merges 2 genres of the board game, I think. So in one hand we have skirmish game with miniatures. I mean, in this example we have standees, so a skirmish game, but also card game where you're going to play cards and spend your points to summon the cards, summon units, attach skills, not skills, items, but also cast spells to collect your victory points and to win the game. What is very unique when it comes to Malediction, that the game comes with standees, and well, you can just start playing the game just like that with standees. But if you wish, in a box you're going to find your own QR code, and this QR code allows you to print out your own miniatures on 3D printers. So some blueprints are going to be linked with this QR code. So I think this is a very cool approach that that authors are not forcing you to buy super expensive game with a lot of miniatures, and those are quite beautiful because we saw them on Spiel. So you can just start with the standees, and if you are into this game, if you like it, well, you can decide to print the miniatures afterwards. So if you're interested in this title, just check out the rest of this video. As you can see, Malediction is on a table, so we have 4 sets. In each of the sets we have components for a different faction. So first of all, the most important thing is that when you're going to buy Malediction, one of those sets, this is not enough to play the game. I mean, you need to have 2 sets, one for each player. In one box there's only there are components only for 1 player. So this is very important. I mean, the part of those components like rulers or those things that are used to determine the size of the play area, those are in each box. But specific components for the faction, like cards, dials, and obviously standees, these are exclusively in each of the box for 1 player, and each of those boxes are containing different factions. So we have Legion of Fallen set, so basically undead, in short. The Order of the Shattered Throne set, so these are like paladins and angels and something like that. Primal Blood set, here we have berserkers, more or less, and Conclave of the Spheres sets. Here we have like magical, technological faction with spells and with spheres, and it sounds a little bit like StarCraft. Those technological beings from StarCraft. I don't remember what was the name of this faction. So we have 4 factions, each with completely different games and play style, with completely different cards, with different standees. I mean, units that you can summon, and different elements that you can put on the board. What is also important, that in those boxes you are going to get obviously the set of cards for your faction, and standees and cardboard terrains to put on the board. You're going to get standees and cardboard terrains, but when you're getting the set, you also are going to get your QR code, where you're going to find blueprints of miniatures that you can print on your or whatever 3D printer, and use those miniatures instead of cardboard standees or even terrains, because you also can print your own terrains. So this is very cool, and we saw the Malediction on last year's Spiel. Actually, that's what the Malediction stand was one of the first that we saw when we entered the fair, and I must say we were quite amazed how those miniatures are looking, how they are presented. especially the painted one. Those were just spectacular. So I must say, this is very cool approach to give you a game and fair price with standees. But if you wish, you can print your own miniatures and use them in a game. And as this is a skirmish game, a miniature game, let's say, I think it's highly recommended to print those miniatures, as standees are not going to give justice to this game. As you can see, I mean, this is not a setup. I am just trying to show you more or less the scope of this game. But as you can see, the standees are working. You can use them, but in the end, I think it's much more fun to use printed miniatures. But well, it depends on the person. Maybe someone prefers standees. So what else we can find in the box? So as I said, we have miniatures, we have cards, we have terrains. We also are going to get this dial where you're going to track your echoes and your mastery. So basically your resources that you're going to spend to play cards, and the mastery are just the victory points. And set of tokens for your health. As I said, ruler, terrains, and this QR code that I mentioned, and this is and a dice, of course, and a dice D20, and this is it. So those are the components in each of the faction, in each of the box. Now, how this game works, and in general what the Malediction is. So Malediction is a skirmish miniature game where you are going to play 1 versus 1, or maybe 2 versus 2 if you wish, because there is also a version with teams. I also believe you can play it for 4 players, and each player is playing as their own without the teams. So we have 4 factions. We can play it with 4 players, up to 4 players. The size of the play area is also adjustable. You don't have to play with on this size. It can be smaller, it can be bigger. It depends on you. And there is also a mat. I mean, I think there is, because in the manual, in instruction, we had this quite nice graphic of terrain of the mat, but so we don't have it. And what is important about this mat, that on this mat we have those corners of each of the our square. Each of those corners are deployment areas for each of the players, and those areas on the mats are quite nicely, let's say, marked with very cool graphics. So and this is the main advantage of, let's say, original mat, but in the end everything can fit this. Any other mat that you have is also going to work. We tried with one of our mats. It shows more or less grass and a lot of stones, because it's for Warhammer, but it didn't work because of this very detailed mat. I couldn't show you the elements of the terrains that are over here, so I decided to put it on a bare table. So the game is quite simple. During the game, you are going to put husks on the board. Those are the husks. Obviously, you can also print them. Those husks are like fallen champions. Those champions were carrying some magical relics, artifacts, and you can obtain them. And when you're carrying them, you're going to get, I think, 10 mastery points. So let's say just victory points. And the threshold is up to you to decide how much of those points you need to have to to win the game. So you're going to have 4 of those husks on the board, and in each of those husks you are going to find one of the relics. There is a deck of 15 relics, and each of them is going to be carried by one of your units, granting that unit some special abilities. Every time you're going to lose this relic, well, obviously you're going to lose this 10 mastery points. This is the one way of collecting victory points. Another way is just by killing opposing units. So every time you're going to kill an opposing unit, This is a spell, so maybe not. Every time you're going to kill some kind of unit, you're going to get mastery points or victory points equal to the cost of summoning this specific. And maybe I am going to use this as an example to show you how the cards in this game looks like. So first of all, we have a lot of beautiful artworks on those cards. And well, obviously some of those cards are going to repeat themselves and you have more than one copy in your deck, but there's a lot of unique graphics and they are just beautiful. So in here we have this conclave of spheres from this set. This is some kind of shield mage, and what informations we have here. So this is the cost of summoning this unit on the board. I mean on a terrain, so you need to spend 7 echoes. And in here we have stats. So this is a unit, this is a human. In here we have the abilities of this character, and in here we have stats of this character. So what information we have here? So this is a modifier. This is the number of how much you're going to add to your roll, basically. So you're rolling d12, and the result from the die is added to this, and then you are going to compare this final result with this armor of the opposing unit. If this is more than the armor of the opposing unit, so let's just take unit here. So I am going to compare it with this 12. If this is if my result of the shield mage is more, the shield mage is going to inflict this bigger number of damage. So it's a hit. But if you are not going to have more of those damage hits, whatever, and you're not going to overcome this 12 when attacking this thrice murdered, thrice murdered, oh Jesus. So if your result is lower than 12, you're still going to make a damage. Just you're going to you're going to use this smaller number in here. It's like light wound, let's say. There's a name for that in a rulebook, but I don't remember the word. So I love this, that in this game you are going to do something even if the roll is fail, even if you're going to roll a natural fail. If you're going to roll 1, you are still going to inflict at least 1 damage. So I love this approach that even if you are super bad with the dice and your rolls are incredibly low, in the end you're still doing something. And this is, for me at least, very good information, because I have quite harsh love and hate relationship with skirmish games, basically because of the rolling the dice, and I'm very bad with that. So this opportunity in Malediction to do something and inflict anything, at least smaller amount of damage, but do something, this is very encouraging to try this game. So what all other information we have here? Let's go back to our mage. So this is the modifier, this is the damage, this is the range. So you're going to use this ruler over here, and basically you can count. It's in inches, I think. So he is going to use 8 inches to attack. Distance of 8 to attack the opponent. This is the distance that this mage can travel, so again 6 inches. And I'm going to stop for a second, because those rulers are very bendy, and this is also very cool, because if you are going to move, you can bend this ruler and create this path of your unit and check whether your unit can go or not. And this is quite important, because in this game you cannot go through other units. You cannot go through some obstacles or terrains that are blocking your way. If there is not enough room for your unit to move, well, you need to find another way. So here is the distance that you can go, and this is your armor, and this is your health. So that's it. There's not a lot of stats in here, and this is one type of cards that you can have in your deck. So you're going to have units. In here we have, for example, unit an abomination, spellbound, one of the, I think, the biggest units in this faction. So we have units, but we also have spells. And now we have spells like this spell channel. So this is a little bit specific spell because we have two types of spells, the channels and swifts. One channel can be played every time you activate each of your units. So you're activating your unit and you can play one of your channels, not more. But there are also spells like this, swift spells, and in here we do not have any restrictions. So as long as the rules over here apply, you can play, you can cast this spell and play it. And we also have something. We also have items. In here we have an example of an item, so you can attach those items to your units. Each unit can have one item, and those items are going to modify your unit. So as in this example, with this Amulet of Vigor, that unit is going to get 3 health more. And that's not all, because we also have those. I'm trying to find him. Here we have Seeker, because you are going to play this game also as a Seeker, and this is a Seeker of this Conclave of the Spheres faction. So this is your Seeker. So like a leader, let's say, like a hero. You can deploy him on the board, and then because it depends on the character. You can deploy them on the field. You can take them off. Those are very powerful units. They cost 10, and this is basically elite monster, like legacy monster, the most powerful card in your deck. So this is your Seeker. You can deploy them, you can take them back from the board, from the play area, and so on. And each of the Seekers also comes with an item. So in here we have Legacy. This item is bound with Londriel. So if you are playing with Londriel, you're going to use this Legacy. Starting echoes 20, so starting summoning points, let's say, and some skills over here for your faction. And the last type of card that you can find in your deck are terrains. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of terrains. Each faction comes with one big terrain, one I think medium terrain, and 3 small terrains. And each of those big terrains, they have some kind of effect. So for example, in here we have Noxious Flesh Gardens, and in here Hazardous 3, once each activation on flying unit entering or starting their activation on this terrain suffer 3 damage. And in each of those terrains are going to bring completely different effect when your units are entering this terrain. So it's also a very cool element in this game. I want to show you this one because, well, it's a cardboard, so it's not going to be so spectacular as 3D printed terrain. But what I want to show you here that even on this terrain we have different levels of this terrain, and it's visible over here. So only this red part is a place where you can enter with your unit. Those places are just, let's say, out of play. You cannot enter them, but they are also very useful because they are going to block line of sight. So you can hide behind this guy. And right now, line of sight. So obviously you need to create this line from your standee to different standee. This line cannot cross any of different units, or this line cannot cross, like I showed you in a second ago, any terrain that are, well, high and block the line of sight. So you can hide yourself behind those terrains. And finally, the last thing is being engaged. So as you can see over here on this ruler, everything that is in a distance of 1, I think, inch is engaged. So as long as you are standing next to each other and the distance is 1, you are engaged and you need to fight each other. I mean, for example, if you want to move from your opponent using regular movement, you're going to be attacked on the back. And now how the game flows. So the game is quite simple, to be honest, because you are going to get your echoes, you're going to play your cards, you're going to put your units on a board, you can put them in your deployment area, or you can put them next to the units that are already on a board but are not engaged. And after that, after each player played their cards, played their items and so on, you're going to start the battle, let's say, and in the battle each player one by one is going to activate one unit. That player is going to exhaust the card, so turn it horizontally and activate this unit, move it, attack, whatever. Every unit is going to get 2 action points that player can spend to perform different actions. So for example, movement is 1 action point, attack is 1 action point. But if you want to, let's say, run away from the combat and be not attacked by your opponent on the back, so you don't want to have this retaliate effect, you can spend 2 action points and you're just super fastly running away from your opponent, and thanks to that no retaliation effect is applied. There you can also, for example, charge, and charge allows you to run further than your normal threshold. So in example in here 6, but when you are charging, when you are running, the line of your movement, the trajectory of your movement must be more or less a straight line. I mean, that doesn't have to be straight line, but more or less it has to be quite straight. And this is it. So after each player activated their character, you're going to check whether any of you have enough mastery points. If no one is on the threshold, you are going to get echoes, and you're going to get echoes depending on round. So if this is the first round, you're always going to get echoes 2 times the round. So in this example, it's going to be 2 times 1, 2 here, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6, and so on, up to 5. So 5 times 2, 10, and there's no more. The 10 is maximum, so this is the upper threshold. I mean, no more echoes can be earned in 1 round. And this is it. So this is Malediction. I also at the end should mention that the boxes, as you can see, are quite gigantic for what you can find in the box. So I think those are designed to fit your printed miniatures. So I think this is very cool approach that they are thinking in advance, and you're not going to keep your printed miniatures somewhere on the shelf. You can put them back in the box. I hope so, because I'm not sure if they're going to fit inside. So this is Malediction. The game is going to be on GameFound soon, so if you are interested in this title, just check out the description below. And thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.